Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 3. In this best of 7 between Vam and Beastyqt, if Vam loses this set, he is out of the tournament from the playoffs. Would still be a respectable finish for him, but obviously, he's still working towards that top 4 spot in the single elimination part of the playoffs. Spawning on the southern part of the map, it is going to be Beastyqt playing as the Mongols in blue, and on the north, we do have, with the Abbasids in red.
We have got, with the Abbasids in red, it's going to be Wham 01. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how this game goes out. We'll do a bit of an assessment here. I want to see, just from the perspective of Wham, how defensive is this base? And I'll be honest with you, it's not looking pretty, is it? He's got a lot of open resources over there. I suspect Beasty's going to be coming out here, looking to drop down that barracks very, very shortly. But
this map, I must say, this is screaming for a tower rush. The gold, the berries, and the stone, and even the backup stone are in a single chain. I mean, at Plastic League, people would see that this is perfect for tower rushing. Beast, the moment he sees that, he's gonna be like, oh yes, this is my day.
yeah, I suspect he will. He's continuing to run through the map, looking to pick up those sheep now. He's doing a pretty decent job, but still we don't see any sort of signs of an early aggression just yet. Interestingly, not on wood at all either. I don't know too much about Mongol build orders, but he is not gathering up any wood at all. So have we got ourselves a potential nil tower rush? Is that what's happening?
It looks like he's not tower rushing, which is definitely a bit of a surprise. He's the big ambassador of Mongol tower rushes over there. You see, the players are actually trading sheep over here. Looks like neither of them will be able to kill one from the opponent. And obviously, Beasty is not chopping wood right now, partly because he does have a very nice town center spot. He doesn't need to pop out the gur at the beginning because he's got the town center right next to the gold and the wood. On the other hand, he might actually be able to pick off a couple of sheep from the back of Wham's scout. And that could be a factor if those berries get denied. Because obviously the Mongols will be the aggressors over here. If the berries get denied, losing some sheep here for the Abbasids could be painful because you don't really have a ton of backup options under your town center in terms of food economy.
Yeah, so no tower rush coming out for Beastyqt here. I wonder exactly what his plan is. Do we potentially see like a 2-town center fast castle come in for him? I really don't know where he goes from here because, I mean... Yeah. Typically, as the Mongols, right, like you're expecting that there's going to be, like you're going to be out here doing damage, going to be dropping down the outpost, buying yourself some time. And we can see that Wham knows that there's no tower rush coming because he had the scout on this side of the map. He was checking underneath the town center. He saw that there's no barracks. There's nothing sneaky going on here. Beasty's just playing it standard.
I think you're right about the 2-town center fast castle build here. Think about it this way. If we evaluate what Beasty said about the Abbasid dynasty before, he considers the Abbasid a very defensive civilization, and he's right about that one, obviously. Most people play a very defensive Abbasid. It's very rare that the Abbasids are the aggressors, right? So you don't really have to be afraid of being pushed by the Abbasids. It would be somewhat unconventional to see the Abbasids being the aggressors here. What can you do? You go fast castle, work towards the 2nd town center for yourself, and because you're in Castle Age, you have access to Lancers to secure map control, pick up the relics, and then add your 2nd town center. You will be behind in villager count, but you will have your 2nd town center up and you will have the relics. I feel like probably the best solution to this problem that Beasty is facing right now is to go straight fast castle into relics and 2 town centers.
I was thinking through exactly the same sort of mindset. Instead of going 2 TC into fast castle, you would just go fast castle into the relics, take the 2nd town center from the extra gold that you're getting from the step redoubt, and then from there you're good. But now we see a stable coming down for Beastyqt. This guy is he's an enigma right now. I've got no idea what he has got up his sleeve. The other thing I was thinking about is, okay, you can go a tower rush against, like, let's say he goes for a tower rush here against the Abbasid dynasty. That's going to force a response out from our Abbasid player, and maybe that's a response that Beastyqt doesn't want to have to deal with here. Maybe Beastyqt says, well, if the Abbasid player looks to try and deal with me, maybe he's aggressive over on my side. And, if I force him to make a stable, then he's going to make horsemen. And maybe he wants to use those horsemen to attack me, and maybe I don't want that. So let's see exactly how he looks to play it now as that stable. Going to be coming up for him. Wham starting to collect stone. So got to be dropping down a 2nd town center. No surprises there.
Yeah, no surprises out there, and the barracks will be dropped. This is gonna be visible to Beasty, so he knows this really well. I'm fairly certain that Wham has spotted the stable of Beasty. I'm actually curious if Beasty canceled that, because sometimes we're seeing baits like that. Start the building, cancel it, but it looks like Beasty did finish it. Could just be for one horseman to make sure that that Ovu isn't getting burned down, because let's not forget that Ovu is down to 50% HP thanks to those scouts. So you might want to consider indeed just sending out one horseman to scare away those scouts. But if the spearmen appear on the battlefield, it's a different story, because you need to put a lot more effort into defending that Ovu.
Yeah, Beastyqt doing a pretty decent job so far of just being annoying over on that stone mine, but the Uvu going to be ignited very shortly, I suspect. A villager may have to come, or will have to come out and repair this one, as the horseman is going to start making its way into these scouts and look to dish out some damage. We can see that first stable is moving out towards this Uvu. He's actually quite intent on sieging it down. That villager is pulled, but look at this. We've got some outpost control coming in. Is that Uvu going to go down? The villager gets there just in time, and now the horseman manages to force away these units, and Beastyqt is a happy camper.
And he's tower rushing those berries in the middle of the map, so he's setting himself up long term. Actually, that might be the perfect town center spot. Think about that. It's right next to a hunt, right next to the berries. Vam doesn't know. Vam thinks that's the best town center spot he can humanly get, and Beasty is going to deny that by dropping a tower there.
Oh my lord, he doesn't know. Beasty's going to be so happy right now. The town center goes down on those deer, and little does he know that there is an outpost that is about to complete just north of that. He tries his best to block it. We can see the villagers standing idly by. They're going to start tapping away at it, but they can't see the outpost. Now the outpost is revealed, and all of the problems for Wham01 have barely even started, because he turns his attention towards that outpost. 2 units jumping inside, going to be able to focus down the villagers. The villagers get forced back. The town center gets cancelled. Wham01, he is in trouble. Horsemen coming in as well. It looks like the spearman going to be coming out to meet it, and Beastyqt is looking like an absolute beast in this third game of the series.
And you're denying the hunt and the berries from the opponent. That's a best case scenario. 2 more horsemen hit the field. I don't think a single spearman is enough here.
He's got another one coming in from the wood line. We might be able to rotate that camera around and get a little bit of a clear shot, but you can see that he's able to pick off that spearman. It's slowly but steadily dying. Villagers going down as well. Looks like he's going to be able to pick that one off on the wood line. She does go down. Indeed, we do get a bit of a view behind that town center. You can see it's barely there, but the villagers trying to tap away at it. He's really needing to get this town center up. Slowly but steadily, that villager is going down. The Khan helping out with a little bit of the damage as well. And oh my lord, there is so much pain right now in Wham's world.
Slowly but surely he's building it up. Looks like Beast doesn't want to risk this one, but look at that, the tower already coming up, because that town center is also on the berries, and it is the goal here for Beasty to deny those berries out there, with the spearman now coming out to push away a Beasty. Ooh, intense last couple of minutes, and this is where it gets scary for Wham. He's gonna get that second town center up. Congratulations. Look at Beasty's resources. I mean, Beasty's halfway up to Castle Age.
He's done a great job so far. I mean, I'm very impressed with the performance. You know, we talked about Beastyqt, the ambassador of tower rushes, and we're a little bit surprised that we didn't see the towers coming out, but you know, you just wait, you'll see them eventually, and indeed they do come out, and what a great tower. You couldn't have asked for a better tower position at all. That was pixel perfect from Beastyqt. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, great diagnosis of where he needs to place that tower, and as you pointed out, this didn't start out as a tower rush. This was a reaction to what he has seen from the map, and he realized, hey, there's a perfect town center spot. A spot that's asking for a town center to be placed there. So how about I place a tower over there to prevent my opponent from dropping it? And you see, this town center was, I'm not going to say misplaced, because obviously Wham couldn't place at the ideal spot at the time he had the chance to drop it, but that town center is not optimal. Not as good as it could possibly have been, and it was also delayed by a solid minute or 2, so Wham also lost quite a few villagers that he essentially missed out on by not having that town center completed sooner.
Wham has done a good job in stabilizing, though. We can see he's got more units now coming out. He's looking to wall up as well. He's got his Age of Empires 2 walls out right now. He has walled himself in completely. He is looking very safe on his side of the map, and looking to clean up these outposts now as well. The Beastie's laid down. We see a couple of units going down there at the feet, and now there's a little bit of a blind spot in here as well for Beastyqt. He's got the Uvu that is out here. Got to be careful not to lose that Khan, and Khan just going down. I suspect with that Khan going down, we're going to have GG typed in any minute. I'm just kidding. But you guys know that chat loves to call GG when the Khan goes down.
Yeah, he can't kill those spearmen with that unit anymore, that's for sure. But the tower's gonna clean it up.
Lidakor, don't do me like that. We now have the age up coming through for Beastyqt. More outposts actually going to be coming up, but instead they're going to be a red outpost. It's going to be Wham's outpost that comes up here. And he is looking to completely secure himself in. I gotta love the style from Wham right here, going the full AoE 2 style. But I guess one thing that he's failed to consider is that his town center is on the wrong side of those walls. But he's trying his best just to prevent any sort of damage coming out too early. You can see Beastyqt now reaching the castle age. 10 minutes 35. Not a bad little time for him to be getting it up. And now the prayer tent already coming out. We'll take a look at the relic spawns and see how even they look. It seems like Wham has walled in one relic. 4 other relics will be available to Beastyqt.
But how about Wham going into Castle Age over here? Given the pressure that he has faced and given all the adversity that he had dropping that town center, this is not a bad Castle Age timing we're looking at here. Obviously, he can't accelerate it. He would love to do so, but that's not an option for him. So he's gonna have to wait 1.5 more minutes to get up to Castle, but when he gets there, he's gonna have a respectable villager lead, and he is the only person with like a meaningful horseman army right now that could potentially intercept those shamans walking out towards the relics. Beast is gonna have the lancers, but they are obviously going to be outrun by the horsemen, so he won't be able to catch them unless he finds a place where he has Yam network affecting him.
And speaking of Yam Network, more outposts going up for Beastyqt over on his opponent's side. Beautiful job by him to just be very annoying with these outposts. There's nothing more annoying than expanding, like sending your villagers out to a deer hunt, and then there's a freaking sprinkled emplacement on an outpost out there, and you're just like, why is there an outpost here? Like, when did you sneak a villager? How did you do this? And it's very frustrating to deal with, but now Beastyqt going to be splitting off his lancers, heading into different directions. The outpost in the center going to be spotting out the first of the two as they make their way over towards the side of Wham. Wham continuing to wall up, actually going for a bit of a wall up towards that northern side, looking to try and take control, but now a barracks, or rather spearman in the middle, going to be looking to pick up these lancers.
Yeah, the shaman is working towards that relic over here. He should have the edge to pick it up. You do have a lancer, you do have shaman as well in there. Wololo popping out. Should not complete. Indeed, it doesn't.
Yeah, but he's still, look at him. Look at the way that he's focused. He is zoomed in on top of this Monk. Monk gonna probably be going down, but more lancers coming out here for Beastyqt. He's trying to keep it alive. You can see this is an expensive investment for him, and the Monk does go down. The Wololo not gonna be successful, and now Beastyqt gonna be having to fork out another 150 gold. Gonna have to wait another, 45 seconds for that next Monk to come out. So difficult spot for him, but now the sprinkled emplacements coming through for Wham. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. Wham has reached the castle age, and it is time for sprinkled emplacements to take over the game.
That's exactly it. He's up by 15 villagers as well. Quite a lot of those are being idle, though. This is not something that he has addressed yet. But once he does, his eco is going to be pretty powerful, and as you pointed out, with sprinkled emplacements being placed on those towers now, it's going to be much more difficult for Beast to push through in the middle here. Let's not forget, this is Lipponit, despite the fact that this is very, very open, unlike some other Lipponit generations. That stealth forest in the middle is something that spawns consistently, and whoever gets a tower up in there is going to have a ton of line of sight, and also quite a lot of map control. Also like this onion warfare from Wham with those layers and layers of walls, something that Beasty does very commonly. Obviously him playing the Mongols, walls are not an option for him right now.
Isn't there just something beautiful about the Mongol player experiencing the wrath of a sprinkled emplacement outpost in the middle of the map? It just feels, there's something about it that just gets me going. I like it a lot. Let's just put it that way. But Lancer numbers really looking healthy right now for Beastyqt. He's up to 7 Lancers in total. He's got his wheelbarrow out. He's working on that horticulture, that double broadaxe, looking to get those economic upgrades in. Wham's villager lead is building up though. He's got an 18 villager lead at this point in time. He's slowly working on those relics. You can see the Beastyqt's got 1 in the bag at the moment, but the second town center is up for him.
And it looks like that wall either wasn't finished or it was broken through by Lancers. Now, quite a lot of those flood in, and Wham's only response to those is Spearmen. That could be alarming, especially if those Lancers find the villagers on the right side. Looks like the villagers are sneaking out, potentially heading towards those bears on the far right, and there's a second layer of walls over here, so soon, these Lancers could actually find themselves trapped in here.
Oh, I think there might have been a bit of an overchop.
No,
what happened?
no.
Not today. Not today. Veteran spearmen coming to chase away those lancers. You can see that the villagers nowhere to be seen on these berry patches. They've made their way over towards that eastern side where there is a large forest that is looking to be taken. But I'd love to take a look from Beastyqt's perspective and see the line of sight that he gets to see right now, because I suspect he's going to have great line of sight coverage on this map.
Yeah, both players probably have good line of sight over here because both of them are operating with quite a lot of outposts all across the map. But especially Beasty, he has great line of sight, and of course Yam Aura. He lost the second Shaman though to that Springald Tower, as it looks like he's going to get away. Oh, look at that. The Lancers
tiny little gap in that wall.
Can the Imam pick this up? I don't think so. Yeah, it's gonna get picked off as well. That relic, might not be picked up until, like, I don't know, minute 50.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough fight. You can see the Shaman both coming out here into the middle of the map, looking to repair a couple units. Beastyqt, you got to be careful. He's on the back foot now all of a sudden, as the Spearmen are coming out in force up against this. And once this outpost gets cleared up, I suspect we're going to have a Monk in coming out here to pick this one up. You can see he's got one Monk out on the battlefield at the moment, also getting in phalanx. He's got 2 more Monks in the queue. The Beastyqt's economy behind this looking pretty healthy, looking pretty happy. He's maintaining that villager difference of about 20 villagers, so not too bad as long as he's able to pick up the relics to make the difference. But he's only got 2 so far. Ideally, he'd love to have 4 against the 1 from a Wham, but that is going to be the question. And now we see more walls coming up from Wham. We can see that Beastyqt's managed to break through, and Wham walling like a madman right now.
I love it. Yeah, he's understanding that he's got lack of mobility over here against those Yam speed knights. And he only has spearmen. Now, did he lose that mangon in the middle? Because there was a mangon that he started to build and then it got suspiciously destroyed. I think he canceled it, but it's possible the tower got it, no?
It is possible that the tower shot it with its sprinkled in placement. Wallalol coming in. I don't think it's going to be a very good one, though, as it does get taken out. The knight's just so damn quick, and that's the relic in the middle, by the way, that got picked up. So eventually Wham was able to capture it. But now a bit of an overchop in. Oh, it's a double overchop. This is terrible damage because he's overchopped the wall and he's overchopped through to the other side. And so now Wham going to be absolutely in shatters as these knights, or rather lancers, try their best to clean up the villagers here. Going to be slowly but steadily working on that villager count. 3 knights managed to get behind. The sprinkled in placement on that outpost going to be taking care of all of those spearmen. But unfortunately, the spearmen are a little bit stronger in number, it seems.
Was it worth it, though? I think 2 or 3 villagers at max were killed. These guys are a little idle a bit. But anyways, about 2 or 3 villagers got picked off on that forest, and you lost like 5-6 lancers for it. So that trade might actually have favored Vab over here. And now you see he's got a cost in the middle that's going to help solidify control over that part of the map. Now working towards crossbows and the spearmen. On the other side, lancers and crossbows only for Beasty. He's got 3 lakes and some sacred sites, but the unit composition is starting to favor Wham over here.
You can see that he's fighting against that. He's trying to kill that the shaman. It looks like he's going to be able to pick up that relic over on that western side. And Beastyqt's raid going to get shut down completely. Wham looking very good at this point in time. He's got 2 out of the 5 relics. Not a bad little haul for him over there. Now Beastyqt going to start taking those sacred sites away. 2 of them taken away already. 3rd one going to be coming up for him. At least he's going to be trying to. He's going to have to work his way through that keep. And you can see the trebuchet already in production for Beastyqt here. So he's going to be looking to try and secure that position.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Vam is just pumping out military like there is no tomorrow. And we have seen that over and over again with the Abysses, that this flood of spearmen, archers, and crossbows is difficult to stop. With mangonels not really being a factor right now, it's difficult to stop a flood of infantry like this one. And right now, Beast doesn't have the unit composition to stop this with. So trebuchets this, trebuchets that. If you can't protect them, it's not going to work.
We can see that there's just an interesting amount of monks standing around a single relic. One of them did manage to pick it up towards the outside of Wham's base. But all the rest of them just continue coming out of here. He's got 2 monks to usher in this 3rd monk. And they are going to be bringing through the procession. Of course, there's frankincense. Of course, there's myrrh. And of course, there is gold in the form of a relic.
Yeah, the thing is that, you know that you are not sure if you can pick that relic up by just setting the rally point over there and then making 6 monks, hoping that one of them will be successful picking it up. And I mean, that anticipation wasn't wrong. A couple of monks getting picked off here in the middle as well by the lancers. Quick walls succeed though, and once again, Beast is gonna take some beating on those lancers. Look at the army numbers, 55 to 35, and some of Beast's army is actually trebuchets rather than human component.
Yeah, and I mean, Beastyqt might be in a bit of a tough position here. His military numbers aren't looking the healthiest. We can see that he's moving down towards the south here with his step redoubt, so looking to try and take control of that gold mine. But he's begun working on this outpost or this position in the middle. But at the same time, Wham is now responding with his own trebuchets as well. And keep in mind, those are not just traction trebuchets, they are counterweight trebuchets. So a little bit more bang for your buck over there.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You have a higher range, makes it much more difficult for the Springolds that are currently nowhere to be found to pick them off. And the Springold towers here for Beastyqt could be taken down rather swiftly. He also has 2 traction trebuchets to take that castle down with. For now, it looks like Vam is going to repair this, but look at the resource banks, and this is where it's getting scary for Beastyqt. Vam could turn those resources into even more units, or he could think about Imperial here. But that resource bank differential between the 2 players is something that's alarming for Beastyqt, especially if you consider that the army is also a lot more convincing right now for Vam.
Yeah, Wham seems to have played this pretty well up until this point. I mean, obviously it's looked good in the early game, but now Beastyqt struggling a little bit with villagers actually moving out to look to try and take out those trebuchets. He's going to be successful. And now holding on with the crossbows back towards his Springold outpost emplacements. And we see the triple traction trebuchets continuing to unfold towards that keep in the center, up towards the north side. More raids attempting. Beastyqt trying to do what he does best, and that's out micro his enemy, out APM his enemy. But of course, it's not going to be the case today, with Wham just absolutely walling up like a madman.
Yeah, if Vam is able to maintain those walls, he's gonna be in a great spot. In fact, you could justify going for some stone walls for himself to make sure that Beastyqt is forced to take that direct engagement, because if Beastyqt can break in, this could be disastrous for Vam. He could easily lose like 20 villagers in a blink of an eye. But if Beastyqt cannot break in, then Beastyqt's gonna be forced to take a direct engagement over here, and that's not a fight that he can win, I feel.
Yeah, it's going to be a really tough position for him. The traction trebuchet is almost going down. He's holding on for dear life. A couple of Springolds out as well. The Beastyqt going to be looking on full retreat right now. Just crossbows. Barely any archers in the mix here. He needs to start adding them in. He's only got 6 in his pocket, but now continuing to fall back away from this position. We can see that the first traction trebuchet has gone down. Looks like a town center as well. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. There's a town center that's just chilling out. Did he lose a town center when I wasn't looking?
He lost it. It was on fire for a long time. It was being trapped for quite a while. That town center for Beastyqt, that's also gone.
Is Wham actually winning this? The numbers are actually looking pretty healthy for both players at the moment. 40 military. Beastyqt holds on. The Springold emplacements are looking good, but the villager count is in favor of Wham. The relics, I mean, I wouldn't say they're in favor of Wham, but the fact he denied 2 relics from Beastyqt, that's pretty damn decent.
Yeah, that's pretty decent indeed. Vam losing a bit of a momentum over here, partly because his food eco is struggling, so he probably hit that roadblock of him having to transition to farms. That's going to slow him down a tiny bit. Floating a ton of gold over here with some long-distance gold mining, and this is the reason why that push stalled out. A couple of those villagers might even get punished by those lancers for the inefficiency. If Vam can sort that issue out, he's in a great spot, because he's got great map control, eco lead. Army right now not necessarily in his favor. In fact, Beast's got better numbers, but if this eco issue is solved by Wham, he's gonna have great momentum and he could potentially close this game out in the next 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's exactly it. His momentum is looking healthy. One of the things to note, though, I don't think we've got a pretty solid transition for farms coming in for Wham just yet. We'll take a look at his base. I want to see what the farm numbers are looking like. But just when I see 480, 465 food a minute, I suspect it's pretty much non-existent. Yeah, just a handful of farms. Actually, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. And what is that? About 20 farms, I reckon? Yeah, 23 farms coming in right there. So he's slowly but steadily finding that farm transition. He's also looking to get through fertilization as his upgrade. But now Beasty moving forward and looking to try and take control. You can see the Springolds coming out and just popping all of those traction trebuchets, or all those counterweight trebuchets, sorry. And Beastyqt buys himself more time.
Yeah, this is where it gets annoying for Wham, because he had great momentum and the lack of farms is stalling everything at this point. And this is giving time for Beast, as you pointed out. And Beasty, he needs time right now. He needs time to get his villager count up. He needs time to rebuild his army. If Wham had a consistent food income for the remainder of that previous push, he probably could have finished the game right there. But Wham ran out of berries. Now you have to start transitioning to farms, and you see now he's up to 1,000 food per minute, so we're getting there. He's gonna decap the sacred site. He's still in a good spot. But Beasty, he bought himself a couple of minutes over here. The question is, what unit composition is Wham gonna go for right now? Because he seems to be very reliant on crossbows right now, which, well, will trade evenly against Beasty's crossbows, but you don't have a direct counter to Beasty's army right now.
Yeah, it becomes difficult, but you can see Wham is relying on infrastructure almost as heavily as Beastyqt is as well. Outpost going to be finally going down, but the keep on the northern side of Beastyqt's base is still standing very strong. Beastyqt only with the one traction trebuchet at this point as well. More outposts coming up, and now Springald's moving out in a classic Springald move, looking to take away some villages, and didn't he take away a lot of villages? There is absolute blood between these two guys as Beastyqt begins to close that gap. 81 villages for him over to 95 for Wham. So slowly but steadily they make their way through, but now more units going to be under attack over here on this eastern flank.
Towers popping out here for Beasty. Doesn't actually garrison the towers, so the crossbows can dive underneath, pick off a couple more villagers, and every single villager that Beasty loses is gonna have a big impact. Beasty wants to go Imperial, actually. Look at those resources. That's the plan.
Wow, he's actually going to Imp. Look at that. He's putting down the white stupa. Villagers got to be careful here. These guys are basically just minding their own business. Don't mind me. Beastyqt distracted. He's got, concerns about other areas. What does he think about when he goes Imperial? I'm assuming it's just going to be... What is going on right here? He's just donated over 20 villages.
Maybe he thought that the towers will discourage the opponent, but little did he know that all those villagers died, and he's gonna reach Imperial with 62 villagers, which is a disaster. Wham is gonna have no problem buffering up a counterattack and then getting into Imperial. If Wham gets to Imperial, he's gonna be on an even ground with the opponent, but having 40 villagers advantage. I feel like Wham, now he needs to focus on getting to Imperial, and he's gonna be in a great spot.
Yeah, he's got a great economic lead right now. 101 villages, 2 relics versus the 64 villages for Beastyqt and only 3 relics. All of those sacred sites have been decapped. And Beastyqt is in a bit of a tough spot. He's got out a good amount of siege, but look at the emplacements that are coming through from him. He's also looking to get these elite crossbow as well as elite knight upgrades. So he'll be able to diversify a little bit into those compositions, but I can't help but feel he's in a tough spot, isn't he?
He is in a tough spot. Look at that gold income, 325 per minute. He is only living off those relics right now. He has to move into this far left position here to secure gold for himself. And if Wham ever finds that, he could cut Beasty off from the gold. Beasty might have to find simultaneously to defend that location and also to defend his own base here. He still has a respectable amount of Springolds though, which slows down Wham's aggression. But Wham is now also thinking about Imperial Age. Right now he can't take a direct engagement, but he can still try to harass that eco. And the villagers, they had to take 1 turn of inefficient gold mining here before the step redoubt arrived.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough position for Beastyqt. He's going to be trying to hold on. Now, we've made it to the point where Beastyqt is in Imperial. This is his zone. This is where he loves to be. So the question is, which civilization do you favor on an even playing field? Do you prefer the Mongols in the late game, or do you prefer the Abbasid in the late game?
Oh, this is tough because I feel like it depends on how you approach this. If I had to choose, I would prefer the Abbasids for the sole purpose of placing walls and preventing raids. This being said, the Mongols, of course, can just spam their outposts. They can make sure that they have the Yam network, the Springald or cannon emplacements all across the map. So I think it depends on your style and your ability to deal with raids. If you don't have walls, it's probably the best summary of this one. If you're confident dealing with raids, when you don't have walls, Mongols all day. If you're struggling to deal with raids without walls, then you probably prefer the Abbasids.
Coming into this 28th minute, I would say it's quite an objective assessment to say Wham is in a great position here. He's got a huge villager lead. He's got a decent military lead. At the moment, the only thing he's really behind on is tech. And obviously we can see Beastyqt with the Springalds out here. He's got the roller shutters triggers coming through. I'd love to see whether it's improved roller shutter triggers or not. I suspect it probably is because that's quite an important upgrade. But he's trying to force it into what you would assume is a bit of a siege battle here. And that could be something that really helps him out.
Looks like...
It's not improved.
It's not improved. He has a ton of stones, so he could get it. It's just the fact that he doesn't have the Ovu right now. But Imperial Age on the way for Wham as well, so the technology gap is closing. And when the dust settles, you're going to be looking at a 40 villagers lead here for Wham. And keep in mind that gold mine for Beasty is dangerously exposed. And army numbers not so favorable for Beasty. They're 58, most of those being Springolds. And look at Wham, 23 horsemen. We completely forgot about that fact. Beasty's army would be terrible against all those horsemen. Beasty has absolutely no response to that.
I'm starting to get a bit concerned for Wham. Even though everything's looking good for him, going up against Beastyqt in Imperial Age is kind of like climbing into like the ocean when there's a great white shark. Like you just don't want to get into its domain.
Yes.
And that's where Wham is right now. He is in the domain of Beasty, the late game. This is what he breathes. This is what he lives. When Beastyqt starts a game, he doesn't start in the Dark Age, he starts in the Imperial Age. Now he's gaming. And this is where it gets concerning because we already start to see raids coming through. Wham's attention going to be drawn up here, hopefully sooner rather than later, as more villagers continue to go down to these elite lancers. Finally, a response going to be issued. It's going to be crossbows as well as spearmen going to be able to take that down. But at the same time, we see Beastyqt moving on the front. We've got bombards coming out, looking to try and take down that keep. And this is where it gets really difficult for Wham because Beasty in the late game is just a multitasking menace.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing. Vam is in such a good position right now. The problem is that this is the stage of the game where Beasty is so good at. He's able to exploit every single bit of a mistake. And right now, if you're Wham, you're praying that you can take one decisive fight and finish this game in the next few minutes, because if you don't, you're in trouble. He still has a respectable amount of horsemen. He's gonna get elite for them if he hasn't gotten that already. And if that happens, oh yeah, there we go. This is Vam's win condition. He needs to do a ton of damage with these, otherwise I can see Beasty just grinding him down in a very long and grindy game.
Yeah, we can see the 34 horsemen for Wham now running in. There's a lot of units in here for Beastyqt, but I don't know whether he's going to be able to counter it. We don't see any form of counter coming out for him at this point. It's just crossbows and horsemen and a whole bunch of siege, and I gotta feel really terrible right now because these horsemen came through at the perfect time. Beastyqt is going to be struggling to hold this, and 12 horsemen are all that remain, but the crossbows still seem to have somehow kept their head above water. Beastyqt manages to move forward in this position with double bombards, triple bombards rather, and springles. Somehow he holds on. The villager count, it doesn't look pretty. The military count, it's not in his favor, but still he looks good. Still he looks strong in this game.
The key thing is the bombard towers out there, the buildings that contributed so much to those battles, wiping out the cavalry. And as you said, it's getting more and more concerning for Vam because you're just going to have more and more of those towers that are just so difficult to deal with. And Beasty, this is the reason why he has an almost flawless rate of victories with this civilization. This is the reason why he's almost undefeated with this civilization, because if you get to late game, it's just a crazy story. And no way.
It's a nice try. Very optimistic. There is a lancer that's standing by ready to take these out. The outpost, hold on a minute, that might get up. That's what she said. Bombard's moving back though, going to be looking to try and take this out. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. If you avoid it getting cancelled and you just let it get up and then you just kill it immediately, your enemy is wasting all that stone. We can see he could cancel this right now, but the bombards begin firing down upon it. He's going to have to make a choice. A smart move coming out there for Beastyqt. Going to be essentially just forcing Wham to just waste 800 stone.
Yeah, that was a great move over there, calculated as well. Took down the castle out there. And now look at the map. It's just scattered with all across with those towers. This also gives a very nice reaction time to Beasty with the Yam towers. He is going to start losing villagers to these crossbows though, and his access to gold is still somewhat limited. So Vam is far from being out of this game. In fact, he has a 50 population lead, but look at that. Vam is down to 95 villagers. So while we were watching this, probably a couple more villagers also got killed, and that villager gap is almost non-existent now. And you get the feel, as you said, that Beasty is slowly getting into that special zone that he has. This super late game, especially with the Mongols. And I just don't see how Vam could start punishing Beasty here, because I get the feel that Beasty is gaining more and more confidence in this one.
Yeah, this is really starting to look good for him. The only saving grace for Wham right now is the gold control, and he looks to try and force Beasty out on this position. Now attack speed arrow going to be coming off, looking to decimate through the crossbows of his opponent. Bombard's nowhere to really be seen at this point in time. In fact, Wham's got a bombard shelling down the step redoubt of Beastyqt. You can see it slowly but steadily losing health as the horsemen continue to come through and eat up the crossbows. Unfortunately, the horsemen are not armored units, so Beastyqt going to be struggling as that Khan tries its best to hold on. And as you guys know, if the Khan dies, Beasty dies.
Where is Beasty's army at? Excluding 4 bombards, he's got nothing. And this is alarming, and it's not the gold that's the issue. It is the food that's the issue. He's down to 200 in the bank, only 1200 per minute. Vam might actually have some momentum here, and all he needs is just to get rid of some of these towers to open up some more angles. Siege workshops being dropped en masse by Beasty. This could be a full siege army for him, but he's down to 100 population. Vam, if he plays this one right, he can close this game with a victory.
Yeah, he's trying his best to close it out. You can see that the gold is really going to be the issue here for Beastyqt. He's down to 400 gold a minute, and you know exactly where that gold is coming in from. That is the relics. That is the sacred site. That is all the gold that remains now for Beastyqt, and that's why he fought so hard for those relics in the early stages of the game. Villagers moving back towards the sheep. You can see there are plenty of sheep underneath the Mongol town center. He's got a lot of units back here, but villagers going to get caught out now. This isn't looking pretty for Beastyqt. I'm starting to get concerned. 150 population now for Wham. Only 95 for Beasty. There's a lot of bombards coming out though, so I tell you what, maybe things aren't looking too terrible because these bombards mean absolute business. Look at the damage that they deal right there. I think they might even be one-shotting those horsemen. It is a lot of damage.
It's a ton of damage over here. Wham just needs to maintain this pressure as much as he can. Try to grind down those towers though, because Beasty, he's in a tough position. He's got no map control, 100 population against 155, and you see Beasty's struggling to access resources. He's got food now, but as you said, no gold. Wood could be a concern very soon. Looks like we're going to see a switch to Lancers by Beasty, also going for the Incendiary Arrows upgrade. Same upgrade is coming in though for Wham, and he's now going for the Camel Archers. That could be the perfect unit here. Camel Archers, they could just dive underneath that town center, pick off 20 villagers and be done for the day. I think for Wham to finish this game, he needs raids above all. He needs to make sure that Beasty can't recover villager-wise, and he's going to win this game. For Beasty, he needs to raid his way back into this game.
Yeah, he needs to find something right now. You can see he's holding steadfast with these bombards. As long as he reinforces this position and doesn't get overwhelmed, the bombards are slowly going to be trickling in enemy unit kills, and that's really what's going to make the difference, but you got to be careful. There's a lot of horsemen coming out right now. Wham might be looking to commit, and all of a sudden he brings out the Lancers. He is indeed looking to commit. A lot of outposts in this position. Beasty trying his best to rush back here. You can see the Lancers on the front side going to be dishing out some damage. The bombards yet to turn around and fire down upon the enemy units that are here. Now all of a sudden Beasty going to be turning around, focusing his efforts on that front line first, and we can see the reinforcements now coming through for him. He's looking to try and hold on. The bombards, Beastyqt playing full mech. Everybody in the chat getting mad that Beasty can't play full mech, and all of a sudden things start to look bad for him. Wham definitely going to be turning the tables, and all of a sudden the Camel Archers make their way into the base, but now they start to get eaten up by the spearmen that sit down here. You can see Beastyqt managing to repair through the damage of the camels, and still he holds on, still he fights, still he looks towards that victory. He's trying so hard to get it. He knows how difficult this position would be if he was to lose this game.
Oh man, such a good defense over here by Beasty. Bit of an overcommitment by Wham, but he managed to get rid of the most important thing here, the towers. So many towers here defending the base of Beasty. Now they're all gone. The bombards actually getting exposed to the spearmen over here will be probably a loss by Wham. An expensive loss, to be honest, especially for a player that's right now sitting at 51 wood. But there is the next wave coming in, and this is what gets concerning for Beasty. He was losing battle after battle over here, and now without the support of those towers, I just don't see him being able to stop the flood of horsemen and Camel Archers.
Yeah, you can see that the economy right now for Wham is insane. He's got 3,000 food a minute that is going to be invested almost completely into horsemen, completely into camels. He is going very heavy on it, but the bombards now looking to try and take out enemy units. They've got to be careful. They're a little bit exposed, and now Beasty, almost all of a sudden, he's a little bit too deep. Villagers do get pulled. They're going to be able to repair this up, but there's no units out to support a Beastyqt under attack. Multiple angles now. He begins to turn around and focus his attention, but villagers getting pulled now, looking to turn their torches towards the bombards of Beastyqt. Is trying to hold on through this choke point. At the same time, we see keeps coming down on the wood line. The Uvu gets depleted. The only thing missing right now is a Khan going down, and that would be GG getting typed in. But unfortunately, it looks like Beasty is going to be able to hold on a little bit longer, and Wham 01 is going to be trying his best to close out this game, but just really, he is struggling so hard right now.
Oh, villagers being pulled to try and take down that keep, but I think it's within the reach of the other keep over there. Beasty's eco is going to collapse over such a level of pressure here. He's still holding on. He's pulling off a miracle hold, but how long can he sustain holding out against such relentless attacks? He's losing villagers. He's down to 70 population, and he's still at 110 pop only, barely improved in the last couple of minutes. He's not going ahead, that's the problem. He's not necessarily going backwards, but he's not going ahead either.
Wham is playing an absolute insane series, playing out of his mind right now. This is crazy stuff from the Canadian. Impressive stuff to see. He's more bombards now continuing to flood out for Beastyqt. He's got a decent mass here, continuing to put down outposts. He's looking to try and take control of this gold in the center. Spearmen also coming out for him, and Beastyqt trying to continue this mech build. outposts as
Beasty.
well as bombards working in tandem. He's trying to hold on, but now, oh my lord,
A
the double
food eco.
town center for Beastyqt. It is terrible damage.
That's it. That's it. He's down to 52 villagers. All that's left is the bombards and the towers, nothing else. He's not getting wood.
That's
He's
all you
struggling
need.
for gold. Oh man, I think it's over for Beasty. He can't stop this.
But it is Beastyqt. Remember that. If there's anybody who's going to hold on in this position, it's Beastyqt. If there's a will, there's a way. And Beastyqt is the kind of guy who is just going to continue pushing down the front of his enemy's door, and now continues to snipe out the siege from his enemy. The wood line gets completely idled. The camel archers just doing plenty of work as all those villagers do go down. Beasty sitting on 49 villagers at the moment. He's food economy and insufficient wood coming out for Beastyqt. It's a rare sight to behold, but indeed it is a sad one. Beastyqt looking like he is struggling here as he is about half the population of his enemy.
50 villagers only. You're not gonna be able to replenish your army here, and you have 6 bombards. That's scary. You have a couple of towers out there, but you can't even make more towers because you don't have wood. And all that Vam needs to do is just keep pushing in with those cavalry and kill the eco. And there is the response to that full bombard army from Beasty. The culverins will hit the field, and that's not something that Beasty has a response to.
Yeah, that's going to be very difficult to deal with. Keep in mind, these are not Chinese bombards. They are just your normal bombards. So they've only got that 10 range, but now Beastyqt going to be looking to try and hold on in this position. We can see the Khan fires off the defensive arrow. The spearman on the front line going to be able to hold against the cavalry, but the question is whether these bombards are going to be able to dish out enough damage to try and keep it alive. The Khan goes down, and with that, potentially the chances of Beastyqt as insufficient wood comes out. Not the right time for Beasty to have insufficient wood issues. The bombards are going to be trying their best to survive, but unfortunately the villagers unable to repair them. Beastyqt holding on for dear life here. The spearmen somehow managed to make a wall on the front side, and Beastyqt once again continues to clean up. But now more units continue rallying in for Wham. Beasty on 230 wood. He's trying his best, but the culverin are here, and they begin to tee off on those bombards, taking out the first one. There's 3 bombards that remain for Beastyqt. 4 bombards, rather, remain for Beastyqt. He's trying to hold on, and the culverin continue moving forward. Look out, bombards. The culverin are here, but the bombards fire down on the culverin. The first one goes down. One single culverin is about to go down. Beastyqt takes out the first culverin, second culverin in his sights, but all the bombards are going down. Beastyqt, he's slowly but steadily making his way back into it, and all 3 culverin go down. A 4th one walks into the battle. It's not even awake yet, and all of a sudden it's going to be going down as well.
Such an inefficient fight for Wham! What is he doing? He just needs to take down those 2 bombards and the game is over. Oh my goodness, might be line of sight issues, you never know. Beasty at 69 population, trying to make a miracle hold happen, but he's getting pushed back more and more. 28 army versus 26 though. The numbers have vanished for Wham!
Wham is trying his best right now to close out this game, but he is struggling. He is struggling so hard right now. A little bit of long-distance mining coming through. Why not? We're this late in the game. You might as well. It's probably more efficient than a Gur at this point. But now Beasty all of a sudden going to be pushing around. Look at look at him. He's down to 38 villages now. Beastyqt really pushing on. You know, we often joke about Beastyqt, not the kind of guy to tap out. Well, I tell you what, 38 villages seems like a pretty good time to do it.
Oh man, I mean, if he wants to win this game, he needs to play a 7-hour-long game because the recovery is going to take so much time, and he's just running out of juice over here. Vam has 3,000 food per minute, and I feel like he's slowly going to grind Beasty down. 36 villagers for Beasty. He's dropping in population. The bombards getting taken down. We're back to 4 bombards actually for Beasty. Vam just needs one good push, and he can close this game in here. But boy, oh boy, is Beasty holding on here for his dear life.
I'm really glad he made that second town center again. I can't believe it. I can't believe how insane this fight is. And now Villager's going to be careful here. You can see that Bombard on the front line deciding to go the wrong way. Bombard, you're going the wrong way. It does go down. Villagers unfortunately losing the Bombard war there. And now more units continue coming in. Culverin on the backside going to be looking to snipe out the first Bombard. And good game gets called. Beastyqt finally taps out with Wham 01 victorious in this 3rd game in the series.
Astronomical win here for Wham. He has managed to take away arguably Beasty's best civilization in a scenario where Beasty shines. This is the best place for Beasty to be in. Post-Imperial, Mongols, and Wham takes the win. It was an insanely grindy game for him. Unbelievable how much he had to work towards this win. slowly grind down Beasty. Really, Beasty wanted to make sure that he only taps out if there is no chance here. There was no chance, and Wham moves on to 2-1. Once again, trying to hold on to his tournament life over here. And when we got to this set, we said, okay, it would be a big upset for Wham to pull off against Beasty to keep his tournament life on the line. How about this? He's leading 2-1.
Absolute insanity. I don't think anybody in the world would have predicted that coming into the fourth game that Wham would be up 2-1 in a series against Beastyqt, where BC loses on the Mongols, a civilization he's got 91% win rate within this tournament. I'm not talking about the ladder. I'm not talking about Plastic League. I am talking about Golden League, the best players in the world. He's got a 91% win rate, and now it is ruined. It's down below probably, I'm just doing some quick math here, probably close to like 85% now, 86% maybe. Absolute insanity coming out from him. Wow, and what a game.
To think about the fact that Wham had such a good start on King of the Hill, for a long time it seemed like Wham could potentially pocket game number 2 even. So Wham could be up 3-0 if things went a little differently in the King of the Hill game. But we gotta look ahead because it looks like we do have game number 4 coming up over here. Once again, Wham, he needs a win to keep his tournament life alive. And he needs a win to keep the Muslim alive. So right now, the Muslim is sitting back at home, crossing his fingers, telling him, just make sure you don't lose your Cold War instead of Bombard Towers, because you got this, bro. You got this. You can save me from elimination. You can save yourself from elimination. And if Wham is able to pull off an upset over here, then we are going to go into the final weekend of this group with a completely open door.
Well, you talk about upset, but I don't like his chances on this map in this matchup. This is China versus France, arguably the easiest matchup for China on what is possibly the best China map in the map pool at the moment, Hillendale. This is going to be a tough fight, a tough battle ahead of Wham. I'm curious to see exactly what he pulls out here. But before we jump into game number 4 in this series between these two titans,